Welcome to this explainer. Listen, today we are going to completely demystify what is arguably one of the most complex, high-stakes topics you're going to face in Cambridge AS and A-level accounting. I'm talking about the preparation of financial statements after acquisition or merger. If you've ever flipped open a past paper for Accounting 9706, seen a massive merger question, and just felt your heart drop right into your stomach, well, you are entirely in the right place. We're going to break down the exact examiner playbook you need to tackle this absolute beast of a topic.
So, you might be wondering, why are we focusing here? Why the specific topic? Well, because this single area accounts for roughly 15% of the total marks in Paper 2. Just think about that for a second. That is a massive, massive opportunity. Mastering this section doesn't just, bump your score up a point or two. It can completely shift your entire grade profile. Literally, 15% is often the exact difference between an average middle-of-the-pack grade and a truly top-tier result.
Okay, let's dive into the examiner's playbook. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the 15% opportunity, move into core theoretical principles, break down the method mark strategy, explore higher-order objectives, and finally, reveal the top 3 examiner traps.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the 15% opportunity. High stakes, high rewards. Strategically capturing these specific marks is all about working smarter, not harder. At its heart, preparing these financial statements is a process that absolutely requires mastery of fundamental principles, systematic analysis, and evidence-based reasoning. The syllabus makes it so clear. Top-performing students don't just blindly memorize formulas. No way. They exhibit a deeply connected conceptual understanding, and that's what allows them to seamlessly tackle those entirely unfamiliar, curveball contexts that the examiners love to throw at you. Moving right along to Section 2, Core Theoretical Principles, the Architecture of Success.
Here's the deal. Cambridge examiners demand precise definitions and clear, logical causal relationships. You simply cannot build a solid financial statement if your theoretical foundation is shaky. It's like trying to build a house on quicksand. And a massive part of that architectural foundation rests on cross-topic connections. You cannot, I repeat, cannot study acquisitions and mergers in a vacuum. When you're able to link a merger scenario back to, say, fundamental depreciation rules or partnership capital accounts, the examiners instantly recognize you as a high-caliber candidate. That cross-pollination of ideas is what gets you the top marks.
All right, Section 3, the method mark strategy, earning points for the process itself.
This is absolutely crucial. In Cambridge accounting, you are heavily rewarded for your procedural framework. You actually earn method marks for deploying the right approach, even if you make a silly calculation error along the way and your final number is off. So here is the exact 6-step framework you should use the literal moment you turn the page and see a merger question. First, deconstruct the question. What are they actually asking? Second, extract the relevant data from the stimulus materials. Third, select your analytical framework. Fourth, execute the math with crystal clear notation. Don't make the examiner guess what you're doing. Fifth, verify your results. And finally, step 6, present your final answer with strict, correct terminology. If you follow this step-by-step methodology, you're systematically locking in method marks at every single stage, entirely regardless of your final arithmetic.
Now for Section 4, Higher Order Objectives. This is where we elevate your analysis. To truly dominate Paper 2, you have to shift your mindset from basic data extraction to higher-order analytical objectives. It's really not just about what the numbers are, it's about what the numbers mean. Notice the stark contrast here between a descriptive and an evaluative approach. A descriptive approach is just stating basic facts. It's safe, sure, but it is incredibly low-scoring. The evaluative approach, on the other hand, requires evaluating alternatives, comparing different methods, and making fully justified recommendations. The examiners are practically begging you to take a stand and justify it based on the hard financial evidence.
So how do you actually execute that in an exam setting? Well, you have to systematically evaluate the quality of the evidence. As you construct your answer, make sure you explicitly identify the limitations of the data they provided. Acknowledge any assumptions that you or the business in the scenario have made. Explore alternative interpretations of the merged company's financial health, and most importantly, assess how all of this affects your final conclusions. I know students often find drawing conclusions kind of difficult, but if you treat it as a straightforward checklist, identifying limitations, acknowledging assumptions, you will systematically scoop up those evaluation marks every single time.
Finally, we reach Section 5, the top 3 examiner traps, essentially what not to do.
Okay, listen close, because these insights are pulled straight from the principal examiner reports. These are the hidden traps that consistently, year after year, cost otherwise well-prepared candidates their hard-earned marks. Number 1. Using the wrong approach for the context. This is a classic trap, applying a standard acquisition framework when the specific scenario actually demands a completely different approach. Number 2. Forgetting format and presentation conventions. The syllabus demands strict adherence to proper headings, appropriate formats, and clear annotations. Please do not lose easy points just because your layout was messy. And number 3, providing generic answers.
The reason generic answers fail so spectacularly comes down to this direct examiner alert. Always link every point to the given scenario. Think about it. You could write the most beautifully structured, theoretically flawless paragraph about mergers that the world has ever seen. But if it doesn't mention the specific companies, the specific numbers, or the specific context provided in that question prompt, it will not survive the grading criteria. Period. Context is king in Cambridge exams. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this provocative thought. If you strictly apply this method mark strategy, and you actively, consciously, avoid generic, contextless answers on your very next past paper, how many hidden marks will you unlock? That 15% opportunity is just waiting for you. Dive into your practice papers, systematically apply this framework, and go take complete control of your results.